Alex Eala is set to take the stage at Indian Wells, and the state of California has no clue about the wave of excitement coming its way. The Filipino community is galvanizing in numbers that have never been seen for this tournament before. Tickets are flying off the shelves, groups are reserving whole sections, and tournament directors are reportedly taken aback by the energy in the air. This fifth Grand Slam is on the verge of becoming something entirely unprecedented. Do you think Alex Eala will make it to the semifinals at Indian Wells this year? And could the Filipino crowd in California emerge as the most spirited fan base the tournament has ever experienced? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's take a closer look at what's unfolding in California right now, as the magnitude of the situation warrants more than just a quick social media mention. Alex Eala is officially in the main draw of the BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells, not through qualifying, not via a wild card, but thanks to her impressive ranking of world number 31. She achieved this ranking by climbing from 137 to 31 in just about 12 months, with performances that demanded the attention of the tennis world. Her journey includes reaching the semi-finals of the Miami Open, the quarterfinals in Dubai where she triumphed over Jasmine Paolini, the world number 8, with a commanding 6,176 score. She also made it to the semi-finals in Auckland, reached the quarterfinals in Abu Dhabi, snagged a gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games, and made her debut in the Australian Open main draw. Alex earned her place at Indian Wells the hard way, the only way that truly counts. Since her entry was confirmed, tournament organizers have been carefully monitoring ticket sales and hospitality arrangements. What they are witnessing has apparently left them genuinely astonished. California is home to the largest Filipino diaspora in the United States, and the Filipino-American community here is large, organized, and deeply passionate about sports. They've been longing for a moment like this, a player representing the Philippines competing at the highest levels of international tennis right in their own backyard. Not only is she competing, but she's also winning, shattering records, and earning recognition as the biggest draw in the sport from former top 10 professionals. Her portrait now hangs at Nike World Headquarters in Oregon, accompanied by the caption, "History in Full Bloom." The extraordinary blend of her sporting achievements and cultural impact has sparked an unprecedented response from the Filipino community in California, something the Indian Wells Tennis Garden has never seen before. Fan clubs spanning from Los Angeles to San Diego and Daly City are coordinating group tickets, and entire sections of the stadium are being booked by community groups eager to recreate the vibrant atmosphere that transformed Dubai into a celebration of Filipino culture, leading Coco Gauff to acknowledge the crowd following her quarterfinal win over Alex Eala. The secondary ticket market during the sessions featuring Eala has already witnessed prices soar well above face value, with some seats reportedly being sold for twice their original cost. This phenomenon marks the arrival of the Eala effect in America, catching the tournament's organizers completely off guard, as their historical data did not prepare them for a player ranked 30th in the world generating such immense market demand. For context, Indian Wells is often referred to as the fifth Grand Slam for good reason, with the 2026 prize pool exceeding $9 million. The tournament showcases every major name in women's tennis, including Aryna Sabalenka, the world number 1 and multiple Grand Slam champion, as well as Iga Swiatek, Mira Andreeva, the defending champion Jessica Pegula, and Coco Gauff. The entry list reads like a who's who of the sports elite, players who have dedicated years to building their reputations and achieving results that command premium ticket prices and prime court positions at this prestigious event. Yet, amidst this list of established stars is Alex Eala, currently ranked 31st in the world, who is generating more ticket demand from one specific demographic than the big names are attracting from the general tennis audience. That's no small feat. It completely flips the script on what we expect from market demand in this sport. Normal commercial logic of professional tennis. And it is happening right now in real time. The path to this moment began in Beaverton, Oregon. Before she made her way to California, Eala made a stop at the iconic Nike World Headquarters. The warm reception she received there set the stage for what's ahead at Indian Wells. Her portraits were proudly showcased in the renowned Nike Tunnel, sharing space with some of the greatest athletes the brand has ever celebrated. One particular portrait captured her unforgettable expression after reaching the Miami semifinals, both hands clasped on her face, tears streaming down in a raw display of emotion, a perfect reflection of someone who had just surpassed their own expectations. The caption, "History in Full Bloom," was chosen with care, as Nike is known for their thoughtful messaging. Another striking image in the tunnel featured Eala snapping a selfie with her Filipino fans, which perfectly illustrates Nike's understanding of the essence of this partnership. They aren't merely endorsing an athlete, they are investing in the vibrant community that supports her wherever she goes. Showcasing that fan photo at global headquarters sends a clear message. The EA story transcends individual athletic triumphs. It represents a cultural movement with a devoted following that spans the globe, significantly shaping the landscape of every tournament she participates in. The timing of her visit to Oregon was strategic. Yaya arrived in the United States ahead of schedule to ensure she had ample time to adjust to the unique conditions at Indian Wells. The California desert presents a distinct playing environment. Arid air and altitude can influence ball flight, making the courts behave differently compared to her experiences during the Middle East and Oceania circuits earlier in the year. By arriving before most European players, she is allowing herself the opportunity to acclimatize and prepare thoroughly. The time zone, getting familiar with the surface conditions are crucial at a tournament where every player is operating at an elite level. After spending 7 years training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, she has developed a strong foundation rooted in meticulous preparation and a relentless work ethic. This is evident in the way she approaches each competition. She doesn't just show up a day before and hope for the best. She plans ahead and adapts to specific conditions. Her early arrival in the United States, paired with a visit to Nike headquarters, highlights this intentional preparation. Entering Indian Wells with a top 30 ranking rather than having to qualify is significant for her long-term growth. Players who qualify often endure multiple high-pressure matches prior to reaching the main draw, carrying with them both physical and emotional fatigue. Last year in Miami, Eala came through qualifying and reached the semifinals, which is a remarkable feat. However, that journey meant she had to carry more cumulative pressure than her opponents. This year at Indian Wells, she arrives fresh, well-rested, and following 2 weeks of recovery after Dubai. Her visit to Nike headquarters provided a psychological boost that no amount of practice can replace. Seeing her portrait displayed alongside legendary athletes at the world's most famous athletic brand communicates something about herself that training alone couldn't convey. The competition ahead is fierce, with top seeds at Indian Wells including some of the most decorated players in women's tennis history. Sabalenka, ranked number 1, has been a dominant presence in the sport for several years, while Swiatek, a former world number 1, remains one of the most well-rounded players on the tour. Andrea is the defending champion at this. The event is shaping up to be electrifying. Any player at their peak can outmatch anyone, but the buzz at Indian Wells goes beyond whether she can take down the world number 1 in her opening match. It's about what unfolds over the course of 2 weeks when a competitor with her profile, recent form, and passionate fan base enters a tournament and begins advancing through the rounds. Future opponents who hope to beat her will have to do so amid a crowd of thousands of Filipino supporters, generating noise levels the tournament has never witnessed during regular rounds. This creates a uniquely intense competitive atmosphere, clearly favoring the player whose fans are bringing the energy. Last year, Sam Querrey and Steve Johnson discussed Eala's draw being mightier than Joel Fentz on the men's side, and it's been a consistent truth in every tournament throughout 2026. The crowds in Auckland were outstanding, record-setting in Melbourne, and the ambience in Abu Dhabi was electric. In Dubai, Goff took a moment to express gratitude to the Filipino fans, acknowledging their role in transforming the tournament atmosphere. Now, California presents a whole new level. The Filipino community here isn't just a small contingent of enthusiastic visitors. It's a well-established, organized diaspora that has eagerly awaited this moment, especially since Eala's impressive run in Miami last year proved she could compete with the top players in the world. Tournament organizers, reportedly stunned by the surge in ticket sales, aren't facing a fleeting spike in interest that will level out once the draw is revealed. They are witnessing a significant shift in who comes to their event and the reasons behind it. For years, tennis in the United States has sought to attract more diverse audiences and engage communities that have historically been less involved in the sport. Alex Eala has achieved this in just 1 season, without a marketing campaign or structured outreach. All she needed was to win matches and project the kind of dignity and competitiveness that inspires pride in her story. The rising ticket prices in the secondary market signal real revenue flowing into the Indian Wells ecosystem from a demographic that previously hadn't generated such economic impact. The energy at the upcoming tennis events is palpable, with food vendors, merchandise stands, and hospitality suites all set to feel the excitement of thousands of Filipino fans making their way to the California desert. When player name steps onto that court for her first match, she won't be alone. A sea of blue, red, and white will rally behind her, creating an electrifying atmosphere. Her name will resonate in the stadium like never before, and every opponent will sense what it feels like to be the away team. As Kim Clears mentioned, Ella is about to experience what it's like to carry the weight of being a legend back home, akin to Michael Jordan in the Philippines. Now, in California, she'll discover that same fervor translated into an American setting. The Filipino community is ready to pour out their support, mirroring the incredible energy she received in Dubai. As the Indian Wells tournament kicks off on March 4th, everything is in place. The fans are booked, the sections reserved, and the community united. Alex Eala arrives fresh from Oregon, proudly backed by Nike and boasting a career-high ranking, ready to step onto those iconic purple courts and face an unprecedented experience in the tournament's history. The fifth Grand Slam is set to be injected with a uniquely vibrant energy, and every player who faces Ella in front of that enthusiastic crowd will understand the challenge, much like Coco Gauff did in Dubai. Competing against her is one thing,